Okay, so problem 40, SAT prep. So can special study courses actually help raise SAT scores? One organization says that there's 30 students they tutored achieved an average gain of 60 points when they retook the test. Explain why this does not necessarily prove that the special course caused the scores to go up. Well, because there's no random assignment to the treatment. Also, there was no control group. Okay, so maybe these kids are in Algebra 2, you know, they took the SAT in the fall, and then they wind up learning more math, and they take it again in the spring, so maybe it could have been their math course that caused their SAT score to go up, or their English course. It may not have been the review course at all. So number one, there had to be some random assignment to treatments, and number two, there should have been a control group there. Okay. Propose a design for an experiment that could test the effectiveness of the tutorial course. Okay. So we have volunteers who took the SAT. Okay. So we're going to randomly assign half to a review course, and the other half will not, no study course. And then we're going to compare, you know, and we'll talk about this in 1 second. So these are our subjects. Okay, this should be random. How are we going to randomly assign them? If we have, what do we have? We had 60 students, so we're going to randomly assign the kids numbers 1 through 60, randomly select the first 30 to get the review course, the other 30 do not. Okay, so here there's one factor, a review course, 2 levels. They either get it or they don't, so there's 2 treatments. Now, how are we going to compare here? Be careful. We're going to compare for each kid and see what their increase was. So we would probably look at the average increase per student. Okay, and see, you know, these kids tend to go up more. But you can't just take an absolute value, because, you know, what if this group has a bunch of high flyers and this group has a bunch of kids that get like 4 something to begin with. You know, these guys may have gone up an average of 30 points, and these guys may go up an average of 100 points, and even though they have lower SAT scores than these guys. So we would want to make sure that we look at the increase, the average increase per student, and not just compare the average in the groups. Okay. And then the next question says, suppose you suspect the tutorial course might be more helpful for students whose initial scores were particularly low. Okay. How would this affect your proposed design? Okay. Well, in that case, we would block our design. Okay. So what we would do is, you know, we got our volunteers who took the SAT. So what we would do is, the first thing we would do is block, okay, into, this is the low block, this is the high block. I don't know, let's say 500 is our cutoff, okay? And then again, we would randomly assign into, these guys get the review course, and these guys no review course. And these guys get the review course, these guys get no review. And these would all be done randomly. Okay, and then we would compare within groups, not each group. So in this case, we may find that in this group we didn't get such great results, but for the lower group these kids tended to do much better after review course. Okay, so again, our subjects are volunteers. We do not randomly assign the blocks, so there's no randomization. All we did is put them in homogeneous groups there. Then we randomly assign them to review course and no review. So we would randomly assign them numbers, however many there are. The first half go to review course, the second half don't. That would be true of both groups. And then again, we have one factor, the review course, 2 levels, 2 treatments within each block. Okay, and then we would compare the average increase per student and see if the course tended to work better for lower students or if it worked the same. So that's how we would do that.